Welcome to the Heart of the Matter podcast. I'm Junon.
And I'm Susan Billings, and we're so excited today to have Naytron in the house. He is our man behind the camera, and we're going to ask you a few questions today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're drilling you
Awesome.
and your creativity. Yeah, so...
Yeah, how long have you been in San Diego?
I've been in San Diego since summer of 2019. We moved from San Jose, California. We came here right before COVID.
Oh,
why?
wow.
Why'd you move from San Jose?
So a lot of my wife's family is out here. Before we moved out here, we would come and visit every now and then, about 4 to 6 times a year.
Oh, wow.
And every time we left, we were like, we should just move out here. And then we
that's
finally
good.
pulled the trigger. We sold our house in San Jose and then moved out here.
Nice.
You bought at a good time.
Yeah,
Prices now, San Diego is apparently more expensive than,
San Jose.
yeah.
I know, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Good investment advice with Naytron.
They're
There's
following
a lot
us.
of people that move from Northern Cal here.
Yeah. So what'd you do out there?
I filmed weddings. Before we moved out here, it was already our 12th year. I was doing about 25 to 30 weddings a year.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Really? 12
Yeah, so-
years of doing that many weddings?
Yeah, like the
Oh my
first year
gosh.
we didn't have a full year, but I had about 5 or 6 weddings.
Wow.
And then the second year, I think we had about 15, 20 weddings. And then after that, it was consistently about
Really?
25 to 30 weddings a year.
That's a difficult business.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
Do
is.
you miss it? Do you want to be doing that?
Yeah. So the past couple years, because of COVID, we took a hit. It's been like an uphill battle after COVID, but I want to get back into consistently filming weddings. Maybe not as much. 25 to 30 weddings a year was a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's
that
a
was
lot
like,
of prep work, editing, the day of the wedding.
Yeah,
you do all the editing
Yeah,
for
all
the
the
wedding.
editing.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's a
Yeah.
lot of experience.
That is.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how long it's been now.
Yeah, and the hardest part is understanding wedding parties and lineups and setups and all of the things that to you probably is
Yeah. And I'm
There's
sure
nothing.
each bride and groom, they want it a certain way. So, you got to kind of match that.
Mm-hmm.
How did you build up your business so much? Was it referral? Did you market?
In the beginning, I kind of just went on Craigslist, did like few small weddings, and then after that, it was all word of mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never did any wedding shows or anything like that, mainly because you have to pay.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want to pay a couple $1,000s just to sit there.
Right.
Majority of the people that go to that, they're just looking for prices.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we started meeting with couples, and we would kind of like sell ourselves to the couples, and they're like, oh my gosh, we love these guys.
Right.
We
That's
want them
really
to film
cool.
us. So
Man.
it was more so like that.
That's awesome. My kids are in that age range of everybody starting to get married, and in fact, we were trying to find somebody for my son last minute. I wish I knew you back then, but that's good. That's really good to know. So, do you ever like stop mid-wedding and dance? What's your
Yeah.
background?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's hear about the
So
background.
the way I got into filming weddings is pretty wild, because the way I got into filming was from breaking. I started breaking when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, you're that young?
And then, my
Wow.
brother started teaching me. But during that time, I learned so fast that I got kind of bored. And like,
Oh.
I was doing moves, and my brother was like, you're learning these moves faster than like my friends have been. They've been working on this
Wow.
move for like months, and like you're getting in like
Wow.
a week. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. So, like I'm
Yeah.
a kid, so I'm just
You're
like,
a prodigy. You didn't realize
yeah,
any
I'm
different.
just like,
Natural.
oh, okay, cool, whatever. After that, throughout middle school, I didn't even practice. I would go to school dances,
Wow.
and then my friends would be like, dude, go break in that circle. And I'm like,
That's so cool.
all right, I guess. And every dance I would break at, I would pull a muscle, because I would just not even stretch. I would
Because you
just,
just
throw
do it on the
myself in
spot.
there and do a bunch of crazy stuff, and then leave the dance. I'm like I have a pulled muscle now, But yeah, so after that, I got to high school my freshman year. My friends that saw me breaking back in the day, they were like, hey, you should come over and practice with us. And I was like, I don't even break anymore. And then I was kind of curious, so I went to my friend's house and I watched them practice, and I was like, dude, these guys are so dope. That same week, I asked my mom to buy me a linoleum,
Oh,
and we
really?
put it back in our backyard, kind of like back in the old days. So
Wow.
Well, you
That's
took
so
it.
good.
You took breaking to a high level too, right?
yeah,
I mean,
in high school, I was like, oh, I have this camera. I'm gonna bring it to school and record me and my friends. And my brother, who was doing a lot of photography at the time, he showed me how to edit videos on our computer, and it was like super slow. It was like mini DV tapes or
Right.
VHS-C tapes. I don't even know if anyone knows
Jeez,
that.
Yeah.
We would have to
little
use those
handheld.
tapes, upload it onto the computer as it
Right.
plays, so you could
Wow.
imagine how long that would take.
wow.
Does that, and because you started editing that way in the past, does it make this just so fun and easy because
Yeah.
of the technology?
Yeah, totally, and then it makes it a lot easier too.
Because I look at it, does that overwhelm you
Oh,
to
yeah,
think of
it's-
editing?
yeah.
I'm like, I
There's
can't
no
even do a
way.
reel on Instagram
Yeah.
without being like,
Yeah.
that was exhausting. I don't know how you do that, but I
Yeah.
guess if you started with little C's,
Yeah.
this is a lot easier than that. That's
To edit.
amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
well, it's
so-
like
Wow.
I feel like too, because it's kind of funny. I mean, your background is you naturally just kind of became a breakdancer. Naturally
Yeah.
became a.
I know, that's
and with the
true.
influence from your brother. But
Yeah.
the thing is, with breaking, if you're in a dance battle, you kind of have to flow and just free flow and go
Yeah.
with it. I feel like you just apply that to everything you do.
Yeah, and
good.
it's pretty crazy because before we started NCompass Cinema, I was going to nursing school. So like I
Oh,
was
really?
actually supposed to be a nurse.
I could see you doing that.
Yeah. Well,
Because I'm
You'd be really
Filipino.
good.
it's
so
Filipino, of course.
yeah,
It's
that's
a
why you think
profession.
Oh,
that.
is that a thing?
That's what it is.
It is?
Every
I
nurse
didn't
is
know-
a
I
Filipino.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny that it's a thing. But I was supposed to be
Really?
a nurse, yeah. And then
Interesting.
and I couldn't pass my boards. So after I just couldn't pass it, I was just like sitting there on my couch, and my wife was like, she was like, you don't have to be a nurse. Why don't you film weddings? And I was
Oh
like,
wow.
because I was already at the time just like bringing my camera everywhere. So she was like, why don't you film weddings? And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess I could try. And then
That's a good wife right there.
It
yeah,
is,
and
yeah.
then like a week or two later, like coincidentally, my cousin that I filmed in Hawaii, he was like, we have a cousin that's getting married. Do you think you could film it? And I was like,
There
that
you
would
go.
be cool.
Wow,
And then-
were you nervous the first time? I mean, that's a
Like
scary
an
thing
official.
Yeah.
That was your
to do
first
weddings.
official
yeah,
wedding.
that was freaking scary. So like, cause I didn't meet them like before the wedding. Like I
Oh,
met them the
really?
day of.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you do it by yourself, or do you have a partner that will film as well?
Yeah, so I usually have a second shooter or a third shooter if we're doing like a same day edit.
Right.
And
You
those
can do
are
same day edits.
yeah, so those are wild.
Really?
So like
That's
Wow.
so overwhelming
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my mind.
I'm already nervous the day before.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it because I'm like, okay, everything just needs to like
Right.
work.
Timeline.
Yeah.
Everything is to.
Let's just like go through like a same day edit day. We get to like where they're getting ready, and then we start filming there. After we film there, we go to the ceremony. We film the ceremony, and then after the ceremony, going to the reception, there's a little gap. I'll start uploading the whole
Wow.
ceremony into my laptop, and then from there, I start editing as my two shooters are
Still
filming.
taking more.
Yeah,
Still
so
filming.
they'll get all the details, and it's usually my brother Jardy and then my best friend Adrian, who shoot with me
Okay.
for those same day edits.
That's a heart attack.
It
waiting
is.
to happen.
So during the reception, we'll have them play it like before the open dancing.
Ah.
I'm
Oh,
like-
so you're watching their reactions
Yeah,
to see.
my usual goal is to make the groom cry. So
Yeah.
if the groom starts weeping, like
Aw.
you know, like that's usually the goal. Cause
Really?
yeah, cause the bride is usually like ready
Sure.
to like
Yeah.
let it out, but the
Yeah.
guy is holding it in, you know,
Aw,
and it's
that's
always
so
good to see the tear
cute.
fall down.
That's a good
Yeah.
challenge to have.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good
So you
challenge.
have
yeah.
quite the portfolio then. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
And it sounds like your brother has had a huge influence. I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
dancing, the
Oh yeah,
videography.
yeah.
Is
And
that, who'd you say, Jardy?
yeah,
That's the brother?
yeah. So he is actually a world-renowned house dancer. So
Yeah.
Really?
yeah,
I've met him. Yeah.
he's
Wow.
amazing.
I
Yeah,
follow him.
yeah. There you go,
Yeah.
Jardy Santiago. If you
I've
guys
tried, but I keep falling. So you
Yeah.
gotta show me a little
He
more.
also teaches online. So if you
Yeah.
Oh,
ever want to
cool.
learn how to house dance,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's great though because I mean I met Naytron through Jiu-Jitsu, and so he applies that to even Jiu-Jitsu. He just flows. He can do things. But even after say a hard hour and a half of training, his like cool down
No
is
way.
to break that.
It
Yeah, I
is?
can still break after.
He
Really?
just goes. He's doing it with one hand and
Wow.
spins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Do you flow through life the same way?
Yeah, I do actually.
You
Yeah.
kind of use the same principles?
Yeah.
Which would be what? Like, how would you
Um,
explain that?
I stay calm for most of the time. I'm pretty chill. Even there's times if I'm like stressed out, I'll be pretty chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never
I just-
seen you. Actually, come to think of it, I've never seen him mad.
There's a difference in even being mad and just always being calm despite the
Yeah.
circumstance. How do you stay in a calm despite the circumstance?
I just try to look at the bright side all the time. You know, even if things are falling apart, you just kind of have to maintain that level head. You know, because then if you don't, then it'll
just
really be bad.
spirals.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that another influence from like your brother, your parents, or just naturally?
I think
you
it's
had
just
that?
natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my competitive nature is a big help for that. Like I always want to stay on top. You know, I always want to better myself in a way. I feel like I'm in a competition with myself.
I was
is
going to
what-
say, is it
You know what I
against
mean?
yourself
Yeah.
versus other
Yeah.
things? Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be your
Yeah,
own
I could
worst
see
critic.
Yeah.
So is your wife the same way, given that she's a nurse,
Yeah.
right? Is she pretty calm under circumstances too because of...
Yeah, I think so.
So
There's
your kids, you have how many kids?
3.
3. Are they
Yeah.
all just like
They're-
this?
they're-
'Cause you both...
I'm telling
You
you,
both
he
are
does
the
a
same
great.
way.
They both do a great job because the kids are amazing.
They're awesome. I haven't seen them like too stressed out. The funniest thing is the youngest one. It seems like the most stressed out of
Oh,
the
Noah?
3.
Really?
Yeah.
She's your little dancer?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
The
well.
one that was in recital?
Yeah. So Naya, she was actually dancing first,
Oh,
and she's
yeah.
amazing, and she was like winning competitions left and right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and then just last year she was like, I don't want to dance anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
so she's getting into field hockey and volleyball. So she's on that path right now.
What are, just so the audience knows, what are the ages?
So my daughter Naya is 14. My son Xavier is 11, and my daughter Noah is 7.
So Noah threw it down.
Yeah.
Oh
in
my
that
God!
recital.
Yeah.
I
so
was dying at that one.
so she's
So fun to watch.
There was
So-
an attitude. There was
yeah.
everything there.
And like every time after, like during the week, she'll practice, and she's like, just like if she messes up, she gets all like hard on herself.
She was
Okay.
in a dance recital. That's what we're referring
Yeah.
to. And she
She's
killed it.
yeah.
Like,
she's
outshined. What's your
Personality.
son into?
he's into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. So
Yeah.
what you love.
Yeah.
So hold on. They all are doing what you're doing. Is your wife into dance at all?
Yeah. So my wife used to do tap and ballet.
Okay, so she's enjoying
Yeah.
watching them
Yeah.
do that too.
So you could see how sad we were when Naya was
Oh,
like, I don't want to
right.
dance.
Yeah.
Like we were like, no, you
Yeah,
have to. Like you're
yeah.
so good.
So
Yeah.
true.
Well, it's
But-
good that X is doing jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
The other love. I mean, you train pretty regularly.
Yeah.
You're an ambassador for Albino and Pretzo. And
Yeah.
If you don't know, that's kind of that's the standard brand for
Oh.
jiu-jitsu wear. So.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
You're an ambassador
Shoes.
for them, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
pretty cool. I got
Awesome.
to be an ambassador for them as right after I got my blue belt. So
Really?
yeah,
Cool.
and then so that was a pretty crazy experience because I was already following them. I was already tagging them like on everything I was doing. Even when I was doing weddings, I was posting about them
Oh,
because
cool.
Yeah.
they make they're like a lifestyle brand,
Yeah.
not just a jiu-jitsu brand, but they're a lifestyle brand and the
Shoes,
shoes.
Really?
They did a collaboration with Nike.
Oh, those are
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you notice the laces, he's a purple belt. So.
Oh,
he's a
what?
purple belt.
Yeah,
So-
it's like
Wait, that's so
I-
cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get the size 13, so they didn't have the size 13 black laces. So.
I was gonna say, so with black laces though, people
good.
won't know any different. They'll
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, they're black laces."
Well,
You're like,
we-
"No, they're black laces."
We try not to talk about it.
Yeah.
But as a
really?
purple belt, he wants to show it off. So he
Yeah.
even has
And
purple
congrats
underwear,
on your
so.
purple
Thank
belt,
you.
Lily.
Yes.
That was
I
just
know.
It's a
recently,
long
right?
process.
yeah, I
That's
know.
amazing.
It was pretty crazy. I was super surprised. It felt just surreal. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shoot.
Jiu-Jitsu is so difficult, and it's difficult to get promoted, that every stripe that we as black belts give, it's a big deal. But to get a belt color, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's, you know, you get, and you'll see it every time I break out the tape, or even
Yeah.
Sinistro breaks out the tape. You see everyone, they start tightening things up, they
Yeah.
tighten their belt because they're excited. They're like, oh, I get a
Yeah.
stripe, maybe I'm gonna get a stripe. And then when you
Wow.
don't, they, you know, it's based off of individual people, but sometimes, you know, people don't get stripes just automatically.
Yeah.
And you see their faces, they're kind of like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a big deal that you
Wow.
got.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do jiu-jitsu people know that brand?
Yeah.
Like, is that pretty much across the board?
100%.
Yeah.
Everybody that's in jiu-jitsu
Everyone.
knows
Yeah.
that. That's a genius
Yeah.
thing.
No,
It
they did
is,
a
and-
great job
and
marketing.
actually-
It's good products. too.
Yeah, and actually, there's layers to this shoe
Yeah.
that if you're skating, because it's a skate shoe,
Uh-huh.
if you're skating and you're getting it all like scratched up and everything, there's layers in here that are different colors on each part of the shoe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like-
Different belt colors.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. They know they do it. It's really
So if
well
it
thought
gets
out.
worn down, you're gonna see different
You'll
colors.
see different colors
Yeah.
underneath.
Dude,
Yeah.
you got to start dropping in more. What are you doing?
I
Stuff
know,
those things up.
exactly.
I know. I like them too much to.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. That's
Exactly.
cool.
And it's everyone knows it's A&P, but it's
Yeah.
albino pretzel. But
Yeah.
It's a great. Again, it's a stylish brand. They have clothes to go out in.
Mm-hmm.
Where have I
Close to what we
been?
got.
Obviously
Yeah.
not on the mat.
She
Oh.
will be soon, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I feel like you fit perfectly in that jiu-jitsu mentality. It's kind of like, again, you're comfortable in uncomfortable situations. You love challenges. You're humble. You're very
Yeah.
humble.
Thank
So
you.
that's why you've progressed to a purple belt, and I think that's why people want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, even working with you, I think you bring that sense of creativity from breakdancing, jiu-jitsu, that humbleness to everything. So, you know, I know you do events. You're doing our podcast. You're going to do a couple other podcasts. You know, but you know, what else? What are you looking to do in this community? Yeah.
I guess just work with everybody. Like I love filming and like whatever it is, whether it's like commercial work or weddings or events, I'm all for it.
We had our podcast at Leucadia Barbershop in Leucadia, and you did the kind of the promo video, and I mean that looked like a high-level professional, you know, commercial.
He does drone shots, showcasing your business, all different video shots, marketing, commercials, all that is
Yeah.
what you film.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's extra fun to watch him behind the camera because he'll snicker or he'll laugh a little bit or he'll like
always smiling,
nod.
so-
It's almost like you have a producer behind
Yeah.
behind the camera. But yeah, really happy to have you. We manifested him.
We did.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We were
Well,
like,
I've known him for years, but I mean, we needed a videographer.
yeah, we're like, we need a videographer.
Yeah.
Boom, Naytron.
and someone that kind of fits our personality, and that's what's great
Yeah.
about you, is that you
really
are
fun.
empathetic and you're so kind and nice and knowledgeable and everything that you're easy to work with. If we have something and you've done it, I think from your experience from the weddings, same day you can get something done.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can prep for it. I mean, I think it's you know, I think you add a lot to us and the group as well.
Yeah. You came to a whole new area. It's hard leaving a market where you weren't even marketing yourself. It was referral based. You had clientele that was all up somewhere else. That's a really bold move to a new place during COVID time and try to start a business in a new area with no referrals. I'm happy you're a part of the group. I hope the group really truly utilizes your talent and this as a resource. But I'm just excited because we're going business to business to business, and this is your guy to showcase what you have and market you. But yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
So fun to get
Yeah.
to know you each time too. It's been really great.
I know. So far, it's been really fun too, because just seeing your guys' personalities with our guests is really fun to watch, and just kind of seeing it bounce back and forth is really
That's
cool.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. We have gotten better. The first couple, a little shaky, but we are
First
getting better.
couple, Naytron was asleep
I was
behind the camera.
I was asleep,
June
yeah.
was asleep. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
It's not
So,
unusual.
We have gotten better. But
Lights are falling down.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're hoping to get better and better,
get
but
better, we are. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, everything takes practice, like
Mhm.
breakdancing, jiu-jitsu, everything like that.
Mhm.
And so do you cover all of San Diego, and do you still go up to
Yeah.
NorCal?
I'm actually filming a wedding in the Bay Area in a few weeks.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
are mobile. You
Yeah,
can go
that's
Yeah.
cover anything.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? I find with you, you make it very comfortable to sit behind the camera. So one of our guests, well, most of our guests are like, oh, I was so nervous. I didn't know what I was going to say, and they sit here, and it's such a comfortable environment. I normally forget my name behind a camera. I hate cameras so much. And I feel like you provide a setting that's just chill.
Yeah.
I think your energy and your level of comfort,
Because you are
it's so
calm,
calm.
and you're always
Yeah.
smiling. So when you look over at the camera,
Yeah.
it
I
makes
see
it
you.
like we're
Yeah.
talking to you. So
Yeah.
if you're insecure about doing film work for your business or to showcase yourself, or what you do, yeah, I'm telling you, you bring a very calming energy to the environment, and it comes off very natural.
Thank you.
I think we come off natural.
I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah.
Maybe
Totally.
not, but I feel like it's much different than other times that I've been behind a camera.
Yeah.
It is. Exactly.
You're very skilled at that. I can only imagine at a wedding or any other venue
Mhm.
that you bring peace and
Yeah.
calm to the
Yeah.
situation.
And I think too, like you said, you're your own worst critic.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a standard you set for yourself. So I mean, you do
Exactly.
want other people to be happy. So
Yeah. Totally.
that's great.
Yeah.
What's the
1000%.
best way for people to get a hold of you? Website?
Yeah, for film work, NCompassCinema.com, or go to our Instagram, NCompass Cinema. For if you want to watch me break, you could go to my personal Instagram, Naytron, Naytron, or you could go to YouTube and type in Naytron.
Yeah.
Why don't we have the linoleum here?
I know.
Why
should
didn't
have
we
one.
figure that out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dang.
And
we're
you'll
gonna
learn a
need
lot.
To showcase
Your
that.
your Instagram is extremely entertaining because again, you do everything from jujitsu
Yeah.
to breaking, and I've tried, but I've realized I'm too tall now. I used to break when
Did
I was
you used to
younger.
break?
Oh yeah,
That
when
doesn't
I was
surprise
younger,
me.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
But now I'm just too long. I've broken too many things. My wife is not
Wow.
happy.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like,
Stop
Just
it.
stop.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
I
yeah.
know.
No, that's great. Again, I think for any video. What about photography as well, or more?
Yeah,
video?
for photography, I kind of just dabble with. I love taking photos, but as a job, it's a little different.
Sure.
But video work, I'm all for it. So just
Okay.
if you need any type of videos done, contact me, and
Yeah.
then we could go from there.
Yeah, he'll apply his really creative kind of vision of things to any sort of recording video. So
I wish I could have Naytron just on my shoulder.
yeah, You smile- you smile
Capturing
the time.
all the good moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool, huh? Just like have like a Naytron all over the
There
place.
you go.
Yeah.
It could be. Exactly.
How did the name Naytron come
Oh
about?
yeah, that's a good question.
Because apparently that's
Okay.
not his name.
No.
So today I was like, I don't
So-
get it. He's like, oh, I kind of have a girl's name. I'm like, Naytron's a girl's name?
Yeah.
Okay, so the name Naytron comes from Transformers, but it's a mix between my name and Transformers. So I'm a collector. I have
Really?
Yeah, he has a
Um,
good collection.
probably over 800 Transformer
Yeah.
What?
action figures. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I have a ton. I used to have it displayed at our old house. It was just like the whole wall. Like we custom made it, so like it was pretty
Wow.
crazy. Still have that picture though of all of them there.
Yeah, I've seen
That's cool.
But yeah, so my real name is Rene. During my freshman year of high school, one of my crewmates, he was like, "What's your b-boy name?" And I was like, "I don't have one." And he was like, "Why don't you name yourself Renetron?" And I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty cool, Renetron." And then also at the time, I was kind of just like dabbling in like graph writing, just like in a black book, and like writing Renetron or drawing and like kind of just messing around with the name. And I was like, seems kind of long, so I just made it to Naytron. And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
a great.
It's a great name.
yeah. And then what's funny is I didn't know this, but there's a football player
Yeah.
named Naytron
Yeah.
from here in San Diego.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even know that for like up until I moved out
Is
here.
that the Instagram? Isn't there an Instagram Naytron guy?
Well, I
Mine.
mean, you posted one about
Yeah,
the
you
joke.
posted
Oh, no,
it.
no, okay.
And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
is he talking about
the
you for real?
podcast,
But
yeah,
his
so-
name's Naytron, I think.
No,
right?
no. So there's a podcast called Tiger Belly
Yeah.
with Bobby Lee. He's a comedian.
Okay.
Hilarious. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is there's one day where I was just listening to his podcast with Andrew Santino, and then like they just said my name out of nowhere, but it was
Yeah.
just like kind of like a
Yeah.
name like, oh, John did this.
Yeah, it
you
was
know,
like a normal thing for them.
Yeah.
Like,
So he was just like, oh, Naytron this, and then I was like, did he just say my name?
yeah.
And then, so that was like years ago, and then there's been different types of episodes where they said my name, just like kind of just like.
Yeah.
as
And he
a-
just reposted it.
and
That's
it.
so
just
funny.
reposted, yeah.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
What'd your wife call you?
she just calls me babe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
That's the PG.
Yeah.
name that
The kids just call me Jaddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, they all have like certain names.
I
that
love
they'll-
your
Yeah.
goodbye to them.
Oh, yeah, our
every morning.
handshakes.
That is
Yeah.
so
And,
awesome. And you do a different one for each
All three of them
kid.
have a different.
We
You're a
gotta
great
start that
dad.
with our guests.
Great dad.
We got to come up with a handshake
Oh,
with our
yeah,
guests.
that would be good.
We're gonna come up with a
Love
group
it.
handshake where everybody, once you're
Oh,
in,
that's
you gotta
good.
do the.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the group,
Initiation. Yeah, what do you think about the
what do you
group?
think of the group?
The group is awesome. Like I went there once. I've been meaning to go back again, but that one time that I went, it was once or twice.
Haven't you? I think you went a couple times.
Yeah, a couple
Twice.
times.
So like the times I went were super helpful. Like I met a few people and like building the blocks to just like like meeting other people in different businesses, and
Yeah.
like the first time I went, I got there and then June just like introduced me and
Threw
I was
you
like,
on the spot.
I was like, whoa,
Yeah, if you
what?
show up
We
late.
may put you on the spot.
Yeah, so be ready to speak up and
Yeah.
like talk about yourself. But yeah, it was cool and like the experience is awesome, and I could see everybody's eyes light up when they're there, like listening to every story that's been being told, because you see them and they're just like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Just,
It is true.
you
It's
can tell they're
inspiring.
listening. Yeah.
It's inspiring. Well, you have an inspiring story. I appreciate you being here. I mean, again, it's,
Yeah,
you.
thank
you
you.
know, coming from another city, another area, coming here and starting again, and it's inspiring.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what we'd do without you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes I've always said that it's the person behind the scenes that
Yes.
carries you. I've always, usually I'm the talker, but not the organized one behind the scene as
Right.
much. And yet you have those people or those friends or those coworkers that do the work. It's like a transaction coordinator.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're like, how are they never spotlighting their
Right.
scene? They
It's
do
true.
so much. They're so amazing, and I'm so grateful for the behind the scenes work that you do for us to be able to make this happen,
Yeah.
and the business that helps these businesses grow and the community grow. It really, it's you. So
Thank you.
Thank you
And
for
yeah,
doing that.
it's fun. So we got to just keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it
Yeah,
rolling.
keep it going. Speaking of which, if you want to be featured on the podcast or if you want to sponsor one of the episodes, feel free to reach us at thegroupcoastal.com or on Instagram, thegroupsd. Again, we can feature you. We can come to your business. We can have Naytron, again, videotape your business and do kind of a promo reel where, again, we're going to let the community get to know you.
Yep. Thank you for being here today at the Heart of the Matter podcast. We've got to experience Naytron's true heart
Yes.
and who he is as a man behind the camera lens. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
for tuning in, and looking forward to seeing you.
And thank you to
Oh,
Aqua Mare
Aqua Mare.
Italiano Restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
They graciously let us film in their beautiful courtyard,
Mhm.
overlooking kind of Torrey Pines here. So, again, thank you again. We'll be back again.
And
Yeah.
we'll see you at the group on Friday mornings, 9 a.m. at the Market Space.
See you guys later.